Hi there. Hopefully you're in the mood for some eggnog, cookies, and candy canes, because that's today's project, along with a beautiful resin Christmas decorated tray. Yep, we're creating a whole set. Welcome to Rough Around the Edges with me, Sherry. Hi everybody. Welcome back. Or if this is your first time, welcome. Come on in, pull up a seat, and sit across the table from me. And let's get started with a really cool idea that I want to do today. Now, any of the pieces that I create today can be used separately or together as a set. And the first thing I want to do is start off with my Let's Resin Tray mold. There we have it. And remember, anything that I use will be linked in the description box below. Okay, first things first, tray. I want to decorate it or pour it red and green, kind of marble or swirly, not sure. But let's get some resin mixed up and get this project on its way. Are you ready? Good, because so am I. Let's go. So I just mixed up 8 ounces of clear cast epoxy resin. I have split it into 3 different cups, and I'm going to do something a little different with Let's Resin Chrome powder. Usually we use them for painting. I know that I do, but today I'm going to put a fair amount directly in to my resin, and I'm going to use the green here. Mix it thoroughly in there. There we go. And then I'm just going to do the same thing with the red. Okay, so I have set my red and green sparkly tray off to the side. I might revisit it in a few minutes and maybe put some swirls in it. I don't know. I'm still debating on that. It's still up in the air. But right now, I'm mixing up some resin to make chocolate cookies. I am using light stone brown. It's a beautiful chocolate brown color. You see that right there? I really like it. So I'm getting this good and mixed together. Then I'm going to pour it into 3 little circular molds, let them cure, and then when they're done baking, we'll decorate them, okay? Well, I thought I was videoing. Well, I decided to revisit this like I said I was going to do. And I just went through and did some little swirls. And I just want to see what kind of effect we get. So I'm going to do a little here, because it's thickened up quite a bit. I don't know what I'm expecting to see, if anything at all, but I hope it comes out. Alright, now it's time to try and whip up a yummy looking eggnog. Yummy looking is the key word. Get that white or creamy looking eggnog color is something I've never done before, so we'll be trying this out together. And I've done several different videos where I use a glass piece such as this, see that? To try, not to try, but to create a hollow center in the middle. And I will leave a playlist at the end of this video so you can see the different items that you can use, and it will go into more depth on how you can create a hollow center, much like I'm going to do right here. So check out that playlist at the end, and it will help you out a whole lot. So let's do this. My gloves are kind of chalky, so they're leaving a residue on the outside. So, but that's neither here nor there because you need to wipe down your glass, period. All right, let me get some resin mixed up, and then let's just go with it and see what kind of creamy looking color we can come up with to create a beautiful faux looking eggnog. You ready? Me too. Okay, so I've got 5 ounces of resin, clear cast epoxy resin, equal parts A and B, and I am finishing mixing it up here. And then we're going to jump into creating that eggnog color that we were just talking about. I did a little research and I'm looking at the different pictures, and it does have that light tan yellow vibe, but there are some that look more milky, so I'm going to try to fall in between those lines. But there was no set color for it, so that's where your imagination comes in. And here comes my imagination. Who knows what we're going to come up with, but hopefully it's something that looks close enough. So let's go. I've got my white satin slice of the moon powder here. That's the first thing I'm going to add into my resin, is a nice couple scoops of this satin white. Gonna mix it thoroughly in there. Now that white is mixed in there, see that pearlescent white color? I think I'm going to try a touch of mica powder gold. I'm going to start off small and build from there, because I don't want to put too much, because then I can't take it out, but I can always add more. And maybe just a light drop of dandelion alcohol ink, which is a little touch of yellow. There we go. I just put 1 drop in there. I'm trying to create this color that I see in my mind without ever trying this before, and it looks like it's going my way as of this point. That looks pretty. All right, here we go. I have my mug. Just gonna pour it all in. Now what I'm going to do is take the same cup I was just using for mixing. It's messy already, so there's no need of me cleaning it out. Because, like I said, I'm going to put a playlist at the end of this video. If you want to know the different ways you can hollow out a center, you just check out that playlist and you can look through different ways, different methods and options that you can do this. Today I'm going to use my silicone mixing cup. I'm just going to push it down in there. The level is going to rise up. Then I am going to take some of my strong tape, crisscross it, and it will hold this down in there very nicely. All right, let me take my gloves off and we'll get the tape on there together, okay? Hold on. Now, we've got that tape down in there to hold it still in the center. I'm going to set this off to the side to cure, and let's see if we can unmold some cookies and start decorating those. See you in a little bit. Hold on, don't go nowhere. All right, so let's unmold our little fake looking chocolate chip, faux chocolate chip cookies, and let's decorate them and make them look as cute as we possibly can for our little set. I don't see any bubbles. There we go. All right, I've mixed up just a little under 2 ounces. I'm sorry, an ounce of parts A and B of resin. And I'm just finishing mixing up here. This is where the fun begins and your imagination can really kick off and you can do whatever you want. I want to create some white icing to go on top, and then I'm going to add some other decoration and sprinkles and stuff like that. Let me get this mixed in, and we'll start building some little decor on top of our faux cookies. Okay, so now that I've got my color and the consistency that I want it to be, I'm going to set this off to the side for a little bit, let it kind of thicken up. That way, when I put it on these, it will be thick enough to create the 3D effect I want to happen. So I'm going to set that over there, let it thicken up for about 30-45 minutes. I'm going to move these off to the side. Be patient, future little faux cookies. We shall return to you. Now, let's go grab that tray and see how that turned out. Hold on. All right, so here we have the tray. Looks really pretty in my opinion. Now, let's unmold it and see what it looks like outside of the mold. That looks really pretty. Very pretty. I really like this. Yes. Okay. See a couple little tiny bubbles, but not anything to worry about. I like the way that it looks. I just don't know what side. I don't know if I want to add a second layer of resin to it or not. I thought I did, but I don't know. So I need to think about that for a quick second. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. The fun part's about to begin, but hey, it's all fun. The decorating is an equal part of the fun. So hang out. I missed out on pushing record for the decoration on top, the icing portion, but join me now as we sprinkle these cookies on up. All right, looky, looky. Look at this picture right now. And now look at my color of eggnog. It might not be perfect, but I came pretty close. But what I'm still missing is the white cream that goes on top of the eggnog. So I have 2 ounces of my epoxy resin mixed up right here. I need to make that. This is cured, so it's ready to go. Let's get my gloves stuck in the tape right now. Go figure. You'd think I would have learned, but, you know, I didn't. Let's get this tape off of here, because I don't need it to be held into place. The fun part is going to be y'all watching me get my glove unstuck from the tape. Been there, done that, don't know why I'm doing it again. But there we have it. Now, here we go. Now, this is amusing to everybody else. Yeah. Oh, what fun it is. Okay. Alright. Did I do it? Come on. Come on. This is embarrassing. But hey, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? There, and now it's going to work its way around. I'm going to let it sit for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then add the brown sprinkles on top. If you're familiar with the good old eggnog, they have usually a cinnamon stick on there or cinnamon sprinkled on top. So we're going to, like I said, let that sit for a little bit and come back and do that. Because if I try to sprinkle now, it'll sink down in there, and that's not the look we're going for. Okay, so hold tight. We got to finish this up and put it all together. See you in a little bit. All right, it's time to add our cinnamon sprinkles on top of the cream that's on top of our eggnog, or faux eggnog. But first, let's get this silicone cup out of the center. And there we have it, a nice hollow center. Perfect for candy canes. Didn't come out a perfect circle, but I don't care. I'm okay with that. It looks good enough to drink if I'm in my imaginary world. That worked out nicely. Okay, so what I was thinking, like, did I want to put my sprinkles on? Why the silicone cup was still in there, and I thought, no, that's not a good idea, because it's just going to get in my way. So I am going to utilize my UV resin. Now, you don't have to use UV. What I could do is just put regular epoxy resin on top, and then leave it there, let it get thick. Then I could sprinkle on my cinnamon, and if it gets down in there, no big deal. This is waterproof. You could put fresh flowers in here with the water, and that'd be okay. But I could just rinse it out. But what I'm going to do for time's sake is go ahead and put a tiny amount of UV resin right in here, then go in with real cinnamon and sprinkle it along the top to the best of my ability. Nothing like the smell of real cinnamon. Here, give it a whiff. Okay, I went too far. Hey, this is supposed to be fun, right? So, now that I've got that delicious smelling cinnamon down on my UV resin, I'm going to take my little mini light, turn it on, and just cure it quickly. Okay, everything's done. We've got the cinnamon on top. We've got our hollow center on our faux eggnog. Now I promised you some candy canes, and yes, we have them. Good old-fashioned box of candy canes here. Our tray is done. Our cookies are over here to my right. And it's time to get our little set together. Which, by the way, I am making it for like a party decor. The candy canes are going to go in the eggnog, much like you would a serving tray. But you could also put plastic forks and spoons. I did it in my hot chocolate video. You could put a little light down in here and it will glow. So hang tight for those pictures. Okay, let's get this set put together. And thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. I really do. If you wouldn't mind sharing or leaving me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. A thumbs up. But most of all, just thank you for joining me. Be well. Be blessed. Hopefully you enjoyed this project and hopefully you enjoy these pictures. Thanks.